Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Harris Yulin, born on November 5, 1937 in Los Angeles, was a rare kind of artist, one whose depth and quiet strength shaped over 5 decades of American theater, film, and television. Though not always in the spotlight, Harris carried with him the kind of presence that left lasting echoes in every role he touched. Left at the steps of an orphanage as an infant, Harris's early life began with hardship. But from that beginning rose a man of great resilience and quiet conviction. Adopted into a Russian Jewish household, he discovered a love for performance during his bar mitzvah, a moment that would spark a lifelong devotion to the arts. Harris pursued acting at UCLA before moving to New York, where he would grow into a master of the stage. He brought Shakespeare's greats to life, Hamlet, King John, Richard III, and graced Broadway in timeless plays such as Hedda Gabler and The Price. On screen, he became a familiar face, the fierce judge in Ghostbusters 2, the sharp-eyed detective in Scarface, the complex government figure in Clear and Present Danger, and the enigmatic Buddy in Ozark. Despite never chasing celebrity, Harris earned deep respect in the industry, receiving an Emmy nomination for Frasier and mentoring countless students during his 8 years teaching at Juilliard. On June 10, 2025, Harris passed away from cardiac arrest in New York City, shortly before beginning work on a new series alongside longtime collaborators. Those who knew Harris speak not only of his immense talent, but of his grace, humility, and quiet generosity. His life reminds us that true artistry doesn't seek the spotlight. It shines steadily from within. Harris Yulin's legacy will endure in every role, every student, and every quiet moment he brought to life. Beans Morocco, born Daniel Ernest Barrows on June 8, 1934, in Cincinnati, Ohio, was a beloved comic actor whose career spanned generations of laughter. From humble beginnings as a Navy pilot and improv performer in San Francisco, he built a legacy of joy through film, television, and stage. Beans got his start in comedy with the legendary improv group The Committee, where he performed alongside icons like Howard Hesseman. His natural timing and distinctive charm soon landed him roles in unforgettable films such as Blazing Saddles, Used Cars, and Eating Raoul. Fans fondly recall his appearances in Police Academy 5 and 6, as well as memorable TV roles in Mork and Mindy, The Bob Newhart Show, Growing Pains, and Scrubs, where he played the world's slowest grocery bagger to hilarious effect. Though often cast in supporting roles, Beans Morocco had a gift for making small moments unforgettable. He embraced his characters fully, bringing humor, humanity, and a bit of mischief to every scene. His final film role came in Killing Cookie, 2024, portraying an ex-con finding his place in a changing world, a fitting close to a life spent entertaining others. On May 29, 2025, Beans passed away in Bakersfield, California, due to natural causes. He was 90. He is survived by his wife Diane, his sister Nancy, and many who cherished his generous spirit. More than just an actor, Beans was a community man, riding horses in parades, dressing as Santa for the local children, and even serving as honorary mayor in his California town. He leaves behind a legacy of laughter, kindness, and a reminder that joy shared is a joy multiplied. Breaking news. Today, we explore the life of a Hollywood icon whose charisma, resilience, and profound journey through fame and loss have made him a figure of admiration across generations. John Travolta, the multi-talented actor, dancer, and singer, has not only delivered unforgettable performances, but has also endured some of life's most challenging trials. What is it about Travolta's story that continues to inspire audiences worldwide? Let us reflect together on the highs, lows, and heart behind this legendary star. John Travolta first captured America's heart in the 1970s. Born on February 18, 1954 in Englewood, New Jersey, to a family of performers, Travolta seemed destined for the stage. He dropped out of high school to pursue acting, a bold move that would soon pay off. Television audiences were introduced to his charm as Vinnie Barbarino in the hit series Welcome Back, Kotter. But it was his magnetic performances in Saturday Night Fever and Grease that cemented his place in Hollywood history. With every move, every line, and every note, Travolta became the face of a cultural revolution, one that brought dance, disco, and youth energy to the forefront of entertainment. The world saw the rise of a superstar. In Saturday Night Fever, he portrayed Tony Manero, a working-class young man who found escape on the dance floor. The role earned him an Academy Award nomination and established him as a symbol of ambition and self-expression. In Grease, his portrayal of Danny Zuko turned a musical into a phenomenon. These performances did more than entertain. They defined an era. However, the glitter of early fame was followed by a challenging period in the 1980s. A string of box office disappointments cast doubt on Travolta's staying power. Yet, true to his resilient spirit, he refused to fade. In 1994, he stunned the world with a triumphant comeback in Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. As Vincent Vega, Travolta redefined his career, earning another Oscar nomination and proving that his depth as an actor extended far beyond musicals and dance floors. What followed was a series of dynamic roles in films such as Get Shorty, Face Off, and The General's Daughter, showcasing his versatility and strength as a performer. He moved seamlessly from action to comedy to drama, commanding the screen with a presence that only years of lived experience can bring. But behind the fame was a man shaped by profound personal loss and spiritual resilience. Travolta's life has been marked by moments that would challenge even the strongest among us. In 1977, his girlfriend Diane Langton passed away, a loss that deeply affected him at a young age. Decades later, in 2009, he faced an even greater tragedy: the loss of his teenage son, Jet, during a family vacation. The world watched as Travolta and his family grieved, their sorrow unfolding beneath the weight of public attention. Through these storms, Travolta found solace in his family, his craft, and his beliefs. His marriage to actress Kelly Preston was a source of great joy and stability. Together, they raised 3 children and supported each other through life's triumphs and trials. In 2020, Travolta endured another devastating blow when Kelly passed away after a long illness. Once again, he turned inward to care for his children and reflect on the quiet strength that had carried him this far. One of the most harrowing chapters in Travolta's life came not on screen, but in the sky. An accomplished pilot, he experienced a terrifying incident in the early 1990s when his plane lost complete electrical power mid-flight. With his family on board, he managed a safe emergency landing, a moment he later described as a turning point in his life. It reminded him of life's fragility and the preciousness of time. This experience inspired his recent short film, The Shepherd, where art imitated life in the most sobering and powerful way. Despite these hardships, Travolta has continued to work and inspire. In recent years, he has taken on more selective roles while focusing on his children and personal growth. His dedication to aviation remains, and he often shares glimpses of this passion with fans. Though rumors about his health have surfaced, there has been no confirmed diagnosis of major illness. He continues to maintain an active lifestyle with energy and purpose that defy expectations. Over the years, Travolta has also faced controversy, including public scrutiny related to his faith and past legal claims. Yet, he has navigated these moments with measured silence and unwavering dignity. He has chosen to let his work speak louder than headlines, his humility prevailing in a culture that often demands spectacle. What makes John Travolta's story so compelling is not just the stardom, but the strength. He has lived through unimaginable losses, rebuilt his career more than once, and emerged each time with grace. His life is a portrait of perseverance, framed by joy, shadowed by grief, and colored with a deep sense of humanity. John Travolta has become more than an entertainer. He is a symbol of emotional courage. His performances remind us of our shared longing for connection, and his personal journey reminds us of the healing power of resilience. As fans, we admire his talent. As people, we are moved by his heart. As we celebrate his legacy, we are invited to look not only at the bright lights of his filmography, but also at the quiet moments that define true character. From the dance floor of Brooklyn to the cockpit of a jet, from red carpets to moments of raw honesty, John Travolta has walked a path both luminous and real. What are your most memorable moments of John Travolta's career? Has his story inspired your own journey of resilience? Share your reflections in the comments below. And if his story has moved you, do not forget to like this video and subscribe for more heartfelt tributes to those who continue to shape the world of film and inspire hearts around the world. Thank you for joining us as we honor a man who has never stopped moving, on screen, in life, and in spirit. Sly Stone, born Sylvester Stewart in 1943, was a musical revolutionary whose genius bridged boundaries and created a sound all his own. As the leader of Sly and the Family Stone, he helped define an era, blending funk, rock, gospel, and soul into a joyous celebration of unity, truth, and sound. He passed away on June 9, 2025, at the age of 82, after a long journey with lung disease. Raised in a musical Pentecostal family and recording gospel songs with his siblings as early as age 8, Sly's love of music grew into a bold, electric vision that would change pop culture. In 1966, he brought together a groundbreaking, integrated band, men and women, black and white, and launched hits like Everyday People, Dance to the Music, and Family Affair. With his bright keys, unforgettable vocals, and daring spirit, Sly created music that called people to celebrate, reflect, and rise. The Family Stone's performance at Woodstock in 1969 remains one of the most iconic in music history, capturing the hope and unrest of a generation in rhythm and harmony. Yet even as his music soared, Sly's life was often turbulent. He withdrew from the spotlight for many years, struggling with health and personal trials, but his influence never faded. In later life, he received a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, published a candid and poetic memoir, and was the subject of the acclaimed documentary Sly Lives. Through it all, Sly remained a symbol of innovation and inclusion. His songs continue to echo across generations, reminding us that music can heal, unite, and transform. Sly Stone was a true pioneer, and the groove he laid down will never be forgotten. Edmund White, a literary trailblazer and fierce advocate for truth through storytelling, passed away on June 4, 2025, at the age of 85. Known as one of the great chroniclers of gay life, his body of work not only shaped a genre, but helped redefine the possibilities of literature itself. Born in 1940 in Cincinnati and raised near Chicago, White came of age during an era of silence and stigma. From these early struggles, he forged a remarkable career that brought visibility, grace, and intellectual depth to queer narratives. With novels like A Boy's Own Story, The Beautiful Room is Empty, and The Farewell Symphony, White offered a deeply personal lens into the shifting landscapes of gay identity, desire, and loss, through decades of oppression, liberation, and the devastation of AIDS. A resident of both New York and Paris, White's writing was international in spirit and refined in style. He authored acclaimed biographies of Jean Genet and Marcel Proust, co-wrote The Joy of Gay Sex, and taught creative writing at Princeton University alongside luminaries like Toni Morrison. His voice, by turns elegant, provocative, and unflinchingly honest, was one that not only told his story, but gave voice to countless others seeking reflection and affirmation. White was also a founding member of the Violet Quill, a group of influential gay writers, and helped establish gay men's health crisis in the early days of the AIDS crisis. His later works, including City Boy and Inside a Pearl, continued to blend memoir and fiction with wit and clarity. In 2019, he received the National Book Foundation's Medal for Distinguished Contribution to American Letters, a fitting recognition of a life spent honoring the power of words. Edmund White leaves behind a literary legacy rich in compassion, candor, and courage, one that will continue to illuminate shelves and hearts for generations. Barbara Rush, a luminous presence on both screen and stage, passed away peacefully on Easter Sunday, March 31, 2024, at the age of 97. Known for her grace, wit, and enduring charm, she was a cherished star of 1950s Hollywood and a beloved figure in American television for decades. Born in Denver in 1927, Barbara's journey into acting began with a scholarship to the Pasadena Playhouse. She quickly rose through the ranks of classic cinema, earning a Golden Globe as the most promising newcomer for her role in It Came from Outer Space. Her film career flourished with memorable performances alongside Hollywood legends, Rock Hudson in Magnificent Obsession, James Mason in Bigger Than Life, and Paul Newman in The Young Philadelphians. She brought sophistication and soul to every role, from sci-fi classics to stirring melodramas. As movie roles shifted, Barbara gracefully transitioned to television, becoming a fixture in series like Peyton Place, All My Children, and Seventh Heaven. On stage, she captivated audiences in productions across the country, most notably in her one-woman show A Woman of Independent Means, which earned her critical acclaim for portraying a character across a lifetime. Despite the glamour of old Hollywood, Barbara's true legacy was her unwavering professionalism, her love for the craft, and her deep connection with audiences. Her daughter, journalist Claudia Cowan, remembered her as old Hollywood royalty and her biggest fan. Barbara Rush leaves behind a rich tapestry of performances that defined an era and continue to inspire. She was elegance personified, a storyteller whose light never faded, and a treasured part of American entertainment history. Lulu Roman, with her unmistakable Texas charm and radiant spirit, brought laughter and light to millions as a beloved star of hee-haw and a gifted gospel singer. Born Bertha Louise Habel in 1946, Lulu's early life was marked by hardship. Raised in an orphanage and facing health challenges from a young age, she found solace in humor and music, two gifts that would shape her remarkable journey. Discovered by Buck Owens, Lulu joined Hee Haw in 1969 and remained a cornerstone of the show until its final days. Her quick wit and unforgettable roles, like the spirited proprietor in Lulu's Truck Stop, made her a household name and a beacon of joy for families across America. Behind the scenes, she faced personal trials with great courage, finding strength and renewal through her faith in the early 1970s. With a powerful voice that could lift spirits and stir hearts, Lulu began a new chapter as a gospel artist, releasing more than a dozen albums. She performed alongside legends like Dolly Parton and George Jones, and was honored with a Dove Award for her contribution to inspirational music. Even as she faced ongoing health issues, including heart failure in her final days, Lulu's resilience never wavered. Her transformation and triumph became a story of grace, perseverance, and purpose. Lulu Roman's legacy lives on, in the songs she sang, the laughter she inspired, and the lives she touched. She will always be remembered as a woman who turned pain into purpose and left the world brighter with her presence. Dale Haden, a woman of radiant beauty and enduring grace, inspired generations with her trailblazing career in fashion, film, and humanitarian work. Born in Canada, Dale rose to international stardom in the 1970s, gracing the covers of Vogue, Elle, Cosmopolitan, and Sports Illustrated, and becoming the face of major cosmetic brands like L'Oreal, Revlon, Max Factor, and Estée Lauder. Her presence redefined age and elegance in an industry often hesitant to celebrate women beyond their youth. Her success extended beyond modeling. As an actress, Dale brought depth and poise to roles in films such as North Dallas 40, Bullets Over Broadway, and The Last Romantic Lover. Yet perhaps her most meaningful work came later in life, as an advocate for education and empowerment. As a UNICEF ambassador and founder of Women One, she championed the right to education for girls worldwide, giving voice to those often unheard. Dale met life's challenges with quiet strength. In her final years, she continued to speak out against ageism, urging society to see the wisdom and beauty in every season of life. Her last public appearance, just months before her passing, was a celebration of those very values. On December 27, 2024, Dale passed away at age 76 due to a suspected carbon monoxide incident in Pennsylvania. Her family remembers her as a woman of deep compassion and spiritual clarity, a guiding light for all who knew her. Dale Haden's life was a testament to courage, creativity, and kindness. Her legacy continues in every image, every cause, and every soul she touched. A life fully lived, a light forever cherished. Gene Barge, affectionately known as Daddy G, was a guiding light in the golden age of rhythm and blues, a saxophonist whose unmistakable sound shaped some of the most memorable hits of the 20th century. From the soul-stirring lilt of C.C. Ryder to the jubilant energy of Quarter to Three, Gene's music captured the joy, heartache, and hope of a generation. Born in Norfolk, Virginia in 1926, Gene's journey began with a salvaged saxophone and a dream. He rose from teaching high school music to touring with legends like Chuck Willis, Jackie Wilson, and the Rolling Stones. His horn was the heartbeat behind classics like Fontella Bass's Rescue Me and Jackie Wilson's Higher and Higher. But it was Quarter to Three, built upon his own instrumental A Night with Daddy G, that forever etched his name into rock and roll history. Through changing eras, Gene's artistry never wavered. He arranged gospel treasures, produced Natalie Cole's award-winning records, and even ventured into acting in beloved films like The Fugitive. His work with Public Enemy in his later years showed an artist who never stopped evolving, always listening, always learning. On February 4, 2025, Gene passed peacefully at home in Chicago at the age of 98. His daughter Gina confirmed the news. Though his horn now rests, his music continues to sing through time, reminding us of the power of rhythm, resilience, and soul. Gene Barge's story is one of legacy and love for the craft. His melodies live on, in records, in memories, and in every note that dares to speak with the voice of the heart. John Brankus, the vibrant mind behind the Emmy-winning series Sports Science, brought a fresh and fascinating perspective to the way we understand athletics. Through every episode, he united the precision of science with the thrill of sport, unlocking the beauty and complexity of human performance for millions of viewers. His passing on May 31, 2025, at the age of 54, leaves a quiet space in the hearts of those inspired by his curiosity and creativity. From the launch of Sports Science in 2007, John captured imaginations by making physics fun, and performance understandable, showing how athletes push the boundaries of what the human body can achieve. With warmth, wit, and boundless enthusiasm, he examined everything from the power behind a golfer's swing to the G-forces generated by a snowboarder mid-air. His goal was always clear: to educate, to inspire, and to celebrate excellence. John's journey wasn't without its own challenges. Behind the camera, he faced personal trials with deep introspection and courage. His openness later in life about those private battles only deepened the respect many felt for him, not only as a pioneer of sports media, but as a resilient and deeply human voice in a competitive world. He was a filmmaker, a musician, a best-selling author, and a beloved innovator. But most of all, John was a bridge between wonder and understanding, between the impossible and the beautifully explained. His legacy endures in every young mind that wonders how and why, and in every viewer who found joy in learning, thanks to his spark. Michael Schlesinger, a tireless champion of classic cinema and beloved figure in the film preservation community, passed away on January 9, 2025, at the age of 74. Known for his deep love of vintage Hollywood and his sharp wit, Schlesinger spent over 2 decades restoring and reintroducing timeless films to new audiences through his roles at United Artists Classics, Paramount, and Sony Repertory. His passion for cinema history wasn't just professional, it was personal. From orchestrating the 70mm restoration of Lawrence of Arabia to overseeing the 50th anniversary release of Citizen Kane, Michael helped preserve the very soul of Hollywood's golden age. He even breathed new life into Godzilla 2000, rewriting dialogue to lovingly embrace its camp and charm for American audiences. Beyond the studios, Michael's devotion extended to film festivals, retrospectives, and DVD commentaries that brought forgotten treasures back into the spotlight. He was a familiar, welcome presence at events like the TCM Classic Film Festival and Cinecon, where his humor and encyclopedic knowledge made him a favorite among fellow cinephiles. Diagnosed with a rare cancer, Michael spent his final days at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles. Yet even through his illness, his light never dimmed. Friends remembered him not only as a devoted film historian, but as a true mensch, generous, principled, and unrelentingly passionate about the art he loved. Michael Schlesinger didn't just preserve film history, he made it accessible, joyful, and alive. In every frame he helped restore, and in every laugh he sparked through his own retro comedies, his spirit endures. For those who love movies, Michael wasn't just a curator, he was a kindred soul. Beej Chaney, co-founder of the trailblazing Minneapolis band The Suburbs, was more than a musician. He was a force of nature. Known for his electrifying presence on stage and fearless creativity, Beej passed away on January 5, 2025, while swimming in the Pacific Ocean, a daily ritual he treasured for its peace and clarity. He was 67. Born Blaine John Chaney and raised in Deep Haven, Minnesota, Beej was introduced to rock music early, inspired by seeing Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin before his teenage years. At 14, he bought his first guitar with money earned from his father's landscaping business, a black Les Paul that launched a lifelong passion. In 1977, he co-founded The Suburbs, a band that would blend punk, funk, and new wave into a sound all their own. Their song, Love is the Law, became an anthem of inclusion and energy, capturing the spirit of a generation and echoing far beyond Minnesota. Offstage, Beej faced significant health challenges. In recent years, he underwent intensive treatment and emerged revitalized, creative, joyful, and engaged with life and music. Just months before his passing, he had been working on a new album with longtime friend Robbie V, eager to share his unique Beej-tar sound once again. His later years also saw him preserve music history through his work at Shangri-La, a legendary Malibu studio where artists like Bob Dylan and Metallica once recorded. Beach didn't just live for music, he lived through it. He is survived by his daughters Jessie, Kit, and Callie, and by the music that captured his wild heart and brilliant mind. For fans and friends alike, Beach Cheney remains unforgettable, a true original. Diane Langton, a radiant presence of British stage and screen, has touched the lives of generations with her vibrant performances and unshakable charm. She passed peacefully on January 15, 2025, at the age of 77, shortly after making a cherished return to the beloved Channel 4 drama Hollyoaks. A cause has not been officially confirmed. For nearly 7 decades, Diane brought joy and laughter to audiences across theater, film, and television. Best known to millions as Nana McQueen in Hollyoaks, she portrayed the sassy, heartfelt matriarch with flair from 2007 to 2023, recently reappearing to spend Christmas on screen with her family. But her talents reached far beyond one role. Born in Somerset and trained at the prestigious Corona Academy, Diane began her journey as a dancer, gracing European stages with ballet companies before transitioning into acting. She appeared in the Carry On film series, delighted fans in Only Fools and Horses as Del Boy's unforgettable flame June Snell, and brought warmth to shows like EastEnders, Heartbeat, and The Rag Trade. On the West End, her voice soared in musicals such as Hair, Chicago, Billy Elliot, and Mary Poppins. Despite the challenges of the entertainment industry and the demands of a lifelong career, Diane never stepped away from her passion. Even when asked about retiring, she famously said, "To what? I would go insane." Diane is remembered not just for her roles, but for her zest for life, wit, and unwavering spirit. Colleagues and fans alike recall her laughter backstage, her kindness off-camera, and her dazzling energy on it. Her light continues to shine through the characters she brought to life and the hearts she touched along the way. Kadia, KD, Lewis, known to many as a dynamic presence on Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, left an enduring legacy of strength, vision, and entrepreneurial spirit. She passed on May 30th, 2025, at the age of 44. While the cause has not been publicly disclosed, her family has asked for privacy and shared plans to honor her memory with a celebration of life. KD first captivated viewers during seasons 3 and 4 of Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, where her authenticity and sharp mind stood out amid the drama. But her journey didn't begin or end there. Born on March 31st, 1981, she built a multifaceted career that spanned real estate, consulting, accounting, and public speaking. She was not only a reality TV star, but a driven entrepreneur who owned 3 businesses and inspired others with her resilience and business acumen. Her path was not without challenges. Stepping into the public eye brought both opportunities and scrutiny. Yet KD met every obstacle with the same grace and resolve that defined her character. Her success was a testament to years of hard work and a steadfast belief in her own power and purpose. To her family, especially her brothers Jay and Elijah, she was more than a star. She was a guiding light. Elijah's tribute echoes what so many feel. "You left behind a legacy most individuals can only dream of. I am eternally thankful." Kadia's life was a celebration of courage, ambition, and love. Her story reminds us all to chase our dreams and to stand tall in our truth. She will be remembered, not just for the spotlight she occupied, but for the light she shared with others. Breaking news. Martin Lawrence is not just a comedian or actor. He is a symbol of relentless energy, an entertainer whose laughter has lifted millions, and a man whose story is as much about perseverance as it is about performance. His voice, filled with humor and heart, once echoed through countless living rooms across America. Today, it echoes still, shaped by years of resilience, personal battles, and a return to joy. From his early years in stand-up comedy clubs to becoming one of the highest-grossing actors in the world, Martin's rise was both meteoric and turbulent. His name became synonymous with 1990s television gold, especially with his legendary sitcom Martin, which aired from 1992 to 1997. But beyond the infectious catchphrases and slapstick moments, Martin Lawrence was crafting something deeper, a portrayal of Black life that was layered, hilarious, and filled with pride. Born on April 16, 1965, in Frankfurt, West Germany, Martin's childhood was marked by change and challenge. After his parents divorced, he was raised by his mother in Maryland. He found early salvation in boxing and comedy, two outlets that allowed him to express what words could not. It was on stage where he found his true rhythm, blending raw honesty with an unfiltered comedic edge that quickly got him noticed. His breakout moment came when he hosted Def Comedy Jam, a cultural juggernaut that introduced America to a new wave of Black comedians. But it was the sitcom Martin that etched his name in television history. His portrayal of multiple characters, each more absurd and unforgettable than the last, cemented his reputation as a comedic genius. The show became a cultural touchstone, not only for its humor, but for its authenticity. At the same time, Martin's film career soared. He starred in Bad Boys, 1995, alongside Will Smith, which became an instant hit. Follow-ups like Blue Streak, Big Mama's House, and Life further solidified his place in Hollywood. Audiences loved him for his comedic timing, vulnerability, and his ability to balance toughness with tenderness. But success came with a price. In the mid-1990s, Martin began to face serious personal struggles. A combination of overwork, stress, and emotional strain led to a series of alarming incidents. In 1996, he suffered an emotional breakdown, running into traffic shouting that someone was trying to kill him. 3 years later, in 1999, he collapsed from heat exhaustion during a jog in Los Angeles, slipping into a coma with a body temperature of 107 degrees Fahrenheit. These were moments that shook his fan base and brought his health into sharp focus. Martin's journey through mental and physical health challenges was neither quick nor easy. He faced legal disputes, public scrutiny, and questions about his stability. A sexual harassment lawsuit filed by his Martin co-star Tisha Campbell added to the public tension surrounding his career. The lawsuit was eventually settled, but the show ended shortly after, with both stars later reconciling years down the line. Despite the setbacks, Martin never disappeared. His return to form began in the early 2000s, with renewed focus and personal growth. Bad Boys the Second reignited his big screen presence, and Big Mama's House proved his comedic draw was still strong. Through it all, he quietly worked on healing himself, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. By the 2010s, Martin had evolved. He began choosing projects more carefully, focused on family, and reconnected with longtime friends and collaborators. He stayed away from tabloid drama, focusing instead on legacy. Fans noticed a calmer, more introspective Martin, a man who had faced the edge and returned with wisdom. Then came Bad Boys for Life in 2020, a massive box office success that reminded the world of the dynamic chemistry between Martin and Will Smith. The audience embraced his matured energy, his subtle humor, and the way he still commanded every scene. More recently, as Bad Boys, Ride or Die, 2024, hit theaters, concerns about Martin's health surfaced again. Fans noticed a slower gait, a quieter presence. But Martin addressed the rumors with clarity and poise. He was healthy, just overwhelmed by the love and excitement of the premiere. "I am in God's hands," he said, reassuring fans that he was well. Health rumors aside, Martin remains committed to wellness. Though he has not disclosed details, it is clear he maintains a balanced lifestyle and prioritizes family and peace of mind. His openness about emotional fatigue and public pressures has helped destigmatize conversations around mental health, especially within the Black community. Unlike many stars whose careers are derailed by controversy, Martin found a path back. He reclaimed his narrative, took accountability where needed, and chose resilience over retreat. He speaks less now, but with more weight. Every word, every appearance reminds fans that he is still standing, older, wiser, and still funny as ever. Martin Lawrence's story is not one of perfection, but of perseverance. He has made us laugh, reflect, and believe in the power of comebacks. His life, filled with high highs and low lows, mirrors the journey of many who rise, fall, and choose to rise again. What is your favorite Martin Lawrence moment? Was it his wild characters on Martin, his heartfelt turn in life, or his riotous undercover role in Big Mama's house? Share your memories below, and if Martin's story has ever inspired you, do not forget to like this video and subscribe for more heartfelt tributes to Hollywood's enduring legends. Martin Lawrence is not just a man who made America laugh. He is a man who reminded us all that healing is possible, and that humor, when rooted in truth, can be the most powerful medicine of all.